We're back today with another race in FFRL Fast Fridays Racing League on the F1 2026 DLC. And today then we've got the 6th round of the season, the Belgian Grand Prix, here at the legendary Spa circuit. And yep, coming off the back then of what was a week break last time out. If you did miss it though, I did upload a throwback race from F1 2016. Yeah, race from a random league race from that I did 10 years ago. That finally uploaded to the channel. So if you missed that and you want to see something a bit different from the cars of today, then that's there for you to check out if you want to see it. But we're back today then with 2026 and the current season that we're racing in, and it's been going pretty well so far, despite us not having had like some of the best results in these last few races. We're still holding strong in 3rd place in the championship. I don't think we're really in the title fight just because of how quick some of the other drivers are, but we're still on for a good position at the moment. So if we can keep scoring some consistent points, then hopefully we'll still be quite high up in the standings by the end of the season, which would be, I think, a really good first season and in the top tier for us then, because as I say, our pace hasn't been too great. This was a bit of an awkward qualifying then, because it did start wet, and then there's a few of us who were quite late out for our final run here, and you can see the LD making a move here, then running outside, also on a lap, but actually decides to back out there. I do think they would have been within their right there to keep going there, but they decided to back out and not impede me, which was generous of them, but like I said, I don't think was necessary for them to do so. I think as long as they didn't impede me too much, then I think they were well within their right to complete that overtake. But anyway, we were last anyway, so maybe they should have gone for it. Top leader on pole from Sanitatos, and then it was Alf, Fleep, I think it was Cyclix there who we were just nearly overtaken by, Marcus, Cronin, Brock, McClaverty, Superchimp, and then the 2 tier 2 drivers from last season, Gamer Plays, and then me on the back row of the grid. Sadly, another quite low attendance this one, just 12 cars, but it does mean that everyone who gets to the finish today will score points. So just have to try and get to the finish then. As you can see, towards the end of this race then, it's showing rain, so imagine we'll be ending the race on inters then, you'd think. But the strategy for the time being then is going to be the usual medium to hard then, and I think that will be the way to go, because I think trying to run hards until that rain stint would probably be too far for them to go, judging by the icon on the screen there anyway. So it's looking quite overcast at this stage, but obviously the forecast is showing it for much later on in the race, so we'll just have to see what we can do then. Not much to lose then from last on the grid, so we'll see what we can do then, as we're lined up now then on the grid, and we're just waiting for the lights to come on, and we've got them coming on now. And we are underway then for the Belgian Grand Prix, and for once it feels like the only time we've had a good launch off the line then. Quite a short run to turn 1, and we ended up with not really anywhere to go with that good start. We did at least pass Superchimp, but we're still side by side done with Gamers, so we didn't quite get that done into turn 1, but on the run towards Eau Rouge, and we do manage to just about get ahead then with a bit of help from the boost button there then, as we're on this long run now then down the Camel straight towards Lacombe, and we've got a great run on Brock, so we might be able to go around the outside here then into Lacombe, but no, just wasn't quite enough space, I guess enough speed for us then around to get around the outside of the Cadillac there, so we stay in 10th then for the time being, as was trying to watch out for Gamer behind, but braked a little bit too late there, clipped the back of the Cadillac, and that put me out of shape. Well, it put us both out of shape, but certainly sent me a bit offline there then, that allowed Gamers to get through anyway, so slight misjudgment there, and it cost us a position, but we do have a lot of battery still, so we're going to go for it then straight away back into the Fangir chicane here then, and we are back up into 10th, so we have gained a couple of places off the start. Sadly the actual start replay was kind of bad for this one, so wasn't really much point in showing it, but just a little quick recap there of those two. main incidents on that first lap then. As yeah, we rejoin the action then straight away because we're right in behind Brock still. As we approach the final chicane, you can see it's 3 abreast up the road there from us. As Brock then goes for a very late move on Marcus, or maybe, I don't know, just missed his braking there, I'm not sure, but either way I think it was very good driving there from both of them for it to not be a bigger incident there, and they're still running 8th and 9th as Super Chimp then is looking to overtake into the first corner, but we managed to cover it on the inside line. Overtake now enabled, but battery's looking quite low, so we're probably not going to be able to do much then on this lap as we head up Radion now then. Straight line mode active, but yeah, we're not going to have much straight line speed here then because yeah, no battery, and yeah, this is going to allow Super Chimp then to finally get the run into Lacombe, and they're up the inside then and into 10th place then for the time being, but well, we could just sort of tell straight away, well, quite quickly here, that things are just going to keep yo-yoing because of the battery here. It's all still very close up in front as Gamers then making a move again into Ravage, and yeah, around the outside then into the left-hander, and they are back up then into 11th, and yeah, we're back down to the back of the field then for the time being, but yeah, as you can see, it's all still very bunched up then as we head into lap 3. And yeah, it's all going to be a bit of a free-for-all here then down the Camel Straight, it looks like, with a lot of cars here having overtake mode. And yeah, it's all just going to, we'll just have to see how it plays out then, as we've got a great run then on Gamer then. Up the inside, we're closing in on Brock, but we didn't really have much place to go with it there, so went with 2 wheels on the grass, which probably wasn't the best idea because yeah, I had absolutely no confidence on the brakes once we reached the corner there, so yeah, probably wasn't the best place to go. We did briefly get ahead of Gamer, but then for a 3rd lap in a row here, he's going to pass me into Ravage, so yeah, we once again slide back down to the back of the field here then. We see then this path, well, these attempted passes again, and there was more space there to the outside than I realised, but yeah, I couldn't tell at the time. So yeah, we all went for a bit of an ill-fated attempt there to yeah, go for a move half on the grass there alongside Brock, but yeah, unsurprisingly didn't work. But yeah, next time round we're once again going to have a great chance, and this time we're on the left hand side of the track, so yeah, that might be the better line for us then, and we breeze past both Brock and Gamer there then, and we're up into 10th place then, and hopefully now we'll be able to hold on to these positions for more than a few corners this time. As yep, Super Chimp a little bit in the gravel there, so thought about having a look into Ravage, but we weren't close enough on that occasion to make the move here. But yeah, you can just see how it's just been yo-yoing so much. We've already got like 2 quite significant groups that have broken apart here then, as we've got slipstream trains, well, I guess overtake boost trains, whatever you want to call them. As yeah, Brock tried to go for the move then to Puon. We went a little bit wide there, just I was a bit surprised that they're going for the move there, but we managed to maintain it then for the time being. But yeah, we're just sort of seeing how people are choosing to use a battery then. Some people like going for it in different places to try and bring a surprise attack, but I don't know, I feel like it's always just been the best way for me, has just been to just save it for the long straights really, because it doesn't really feel like it gains you much otherwise to try and use it anywhere else, sort of in the long run. So yeah, we are saving a little bit here then, really, for the Camel Straight. As Brock was trying to go around the outside there, then we slid a little bit into him, it looked like, so I tried to give a bit more space on the outside there in the second part. And then there was the Mercedes of Super Chimp that was off the road as well, so that's brought out a yellow flag as we're under pressure from both sides into turn 1, but managed to hold the position there then just about, and we will see this again now then. At the time it felt like this was a much worse move from me here then, because it felt like I really went wide and pushed Brock out, but looking back on it, it really wasn't the case at all. But thankfully me going wide there to sort of compensate for it did allow, well, it kept me out of trouble there basically, because Super Chimp was off the road and then came back on and made a bit of contact with Brock, and if I hadn't gone so wide then I might have got caught up in that as well. So yeah, I guess it worked out for the best for me in the end, but I think Super Chimp ended up with front wing damage from that. As yeah, we are now then up into 9th place in all of that. got a great run on both Cronin and McLarity here then down the Camel Straight here towards Lacombe, but yeah, didn't really position my car in the best way there. I mean, I could have looked to the inside, but I felt like I didn't have enough speed to really like commit to on the inside. And I felt like I'd have had to just back out anyway, or it would have just been a collision there if I'd gone to the inside line there. So I just had to sort of hope that something would open up on the outside, but yeah, it didn't, and we stay in 9th place then for the time being. But you know, at least we're slowly making our way up to the front as a group then, after sort of languishing at the back for a few laps near the start. But yeah, hopefully we can just keep on moving forward. But well, maybe not for the time being then, because Brock had a great run out of hill on there, and yeah, into the chicane is past us then, and we're back down into 10th place then for the time being. As yeah, we're well, we're just gonna have to see then if we can follow quite closely then through this final part of the lap, and then yeah, we should have a good bit of battery then saved up for the Camel Straight then, because yeah, that just seems to be the place to make all the moves then in this race. As we've got the straight line active, then it's going to be 3 wide, is it, up in front? Not quite, as yeah, Cronin's just about holding it then into the chicane, but McLarity's at the inside, but Brock's done a great run then as well. So well, I think it's going to be 3 wide now then towards the first corner nearly, but it looks like Brock might have the pair of them here then, and yeah, it's driven into 7th place for the time being, as Game is looking at us into turn 1 as well. And yeah, it's just all going off then, so much action then. A lot of it down to just these ridiculous battery cars, but yeah, there we go then. We just breezed past McLarity there then, who I guess wasn't using any deployment there, and we've got a great run towards both Brock and Cronin now, but just with nowhere to go for it, and then the path just opens up perfectly there for McLarity to take 3 positions in one. So yeah, that just worked out perfectly there then. But yeah, it's just switching about all the time, and I believe it is actually raining as well at the moment, so like that's come down way earlier than we were expecting it to, so that has just thrown up another spanner in this race then, well, a spanner in the works I guess, as we're heading now then into the final chicane then towards the end of the lap, and then Cronin actually decides to go for the pits there when yeah, the route to the pit entry wasn't really clear at all, and yeah, made a bit of contact with McLarity, and that allowed us to slip through then, although the Red Bull driver fighting back then with what looked like front wing damage. So yeah, putting up a bit of a fight then, but yeah, we should hopefully now have enough speed to get them back here then with that damage. So we got a great run then, and yeah, press the boost button and we breeze past then. So yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of good driving in these opening laps, but yeah, really struggling to like these cars, I'm not going to lie. Well, especially it's just on tracks like this in Silverstone, where it's just you have to rely on the boost button so much to have any kind of speed, and quite often there's not enough of it to really maintain the speeds for like the laps, so you just feel like painfully slow at times on this track. And like so many people have said, so many great corners don't feel like great corners anymore because of it. But yeah, mini rant over. But yeah, we're up in 6th place now then, because some people are going for the inters, but yeah, the track just doesn't feel ready for inters at all yet. We're on lap 10, we should have been in on lap 9, but yeah, I was just extending the stint because there was no need to really come in at this point. The inters just seemed too slow, and I figured that because it was showing just like the one rain icon near the end of the race, that it would probably be quite a long time before the track was ready for inters then. I imagine it would be in the final few laps then, and everyone was just going sort of too early at this stage then, sort of reacting to what they were seeing on screen rather than what they were feeling in the track, I guess. But yeah, you can see Tolly then on fresh slick tyres is breezing past us then, and we've got Alf behind us and on inters, who has been slowly catching up to us, but I mean, he's a lot quicker than me, and my medium tyres are absolutely dead. So yeah, that's why you got Fleet passing me now then on inters, but the track is certainly not ready for inters then. You can see Tolly on the slicks is just driving away at the moment. So yeah, it's working out for us because we're moving up the field, but yeah, we don't have any pace. I was sort of in a bit of a dilemma at the moment as to what tyres I should go onto, because I had to come in. My tyres were nearly dead. Like if I didn't like spin off, I was gonna be risking getting a puncture or something. So I was sort of in it. It was really tough as to what to actually go for here, but I knew the track was not ready for inters at all yet, and that I was guessing it wouldn't be for quite a few more laps yet, as we were getting the rhythm on fleet, but yeah, I just couldn't quite do anything with it there. Like I say, these tyres are finished, we've got pretty much no grip on them, and yet, we're still keeping pace with some of the quick guys who are on inters at the moment. So then I went for well, what seems like quite a mental strategy call here, to put the soft tyres on. Now, because the qualifying started wet, I did still have a fresh set of soft tyres, I should say, for this race. So yeah, these will be brand new. There's no wear on them yet, so that was a bit of an advantage. And I figured that in a few laps it would surely be ready for Inter. So for me, this was, we'll push on these for a few laps. We'll put in some good pace. We'll, be able to get an advantage over those who went for the Inters. Because as you can see, Fleepa's decided to come back in and put slicks on. And, worst case scenario, we may well be able to get these to the end and, it'll be within the rules. So I wasn't thinking that these would go to the end. It wasn't the plan, it was just all like the worst case scenario, because I thought, we'd surely be going on to Inters at some point in these next few laps. But I figured just, playing some quick laps now, sort of really punish those drivers who put the Inters on, like Alf and Marcus, who are coming back in now to put the slicks on, because the track is just not ready for Inters at all. And yeah, you can see we're up into 5th place then, so at the moment it's working for us. We've made some good progress here up the field, but yeah, it's just a case of when is the track actually going to get wet enough for Inters, because it's been raining for so long. But yeah, the slicks are still running fine after just so long now. It's got to been like a good, I don't know, like 15 minutes of rain at this stage. But yeah, Marcus now then on those fresh medium tyres then is breezing past us. So yeah, we're going to have to just see if we can maintain pace then with the Aston Martin if we can. Obviously Marcus is quite a bit quicker than me, well certainly has been in this race and in some of the recent races, so yeah, we'll have to see then if this tyre advantage does work for us then. As yeah, into turn 1 we did manage to get the position back then, and we did maintain it for, well, most of the rest of this lap then, but yeah, towards the end then he once again gets the run then, and is going to bump us back down into 6th. And Alf is catching us quite quickly as well then now on the hard tyres. So yeah, this may not have been the best call, well, unless it's like really starts to chuck it down right now and we can put the Inters on, but yeah, it's not looking like that's happening. And yeah, the good news is though that like those guys behind like Gamer Plays and Brock, they also messed up and put the Inters on. I mean, I say messed up, but like almost everyone went for the Inters there, so like it did look like it was going to be ready for Inters like quite soon, but for some reason the track just never got wet. But yeah, Alpha's gone through and dropped us down into 7th, so we've not lost anything from taking this gamble at this stage, and we've got a whole pit stop ahead of Gamer and Brock. But now the safety cars come out and wiped all that out. So yeah, that's going to bunch everything up, and it's going to give us a chance to pit. And now we're going to go for quite another bold call then, and we are going to put the Inters on, even though we've seen no sign yet that the Inters have got any pace compared to the slick tyres. But I figured at some point they had to come into play at some point. There had to be a point where there was a crossover and the Inters were suddenly quicker than the slicks. I mean, it just had to happen, it felt like, because it was showing rain at the end. So my experience in the Codemasters F1 games has been, if it says there's rain like forecast in the race, then at some point the Inters will be quicker. That like they will be the tyres to be on. If it's showing it on the strategy screen, then the Inters will be ready at some point. Well, the track will be ready for Inters at some point. So I was just hoping here that in these final couple of laps the track would have got wet enough for the Inters to now be faster than the slicks, because if not, then we did everything right, or sort of right, for the first like 16 or 17 laps, just to throw it away in the last few here. So I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case, but yeah, I could just tell straight away, you know, the slick tyre runners are driving away from us here, and we're trying to use the battery, but yeah, we've got nothing to answer for those up in front of us then, and Gamer's going to have a great run on this then down the Camel Straight. So yeah, it's looking at this stage then like this has not been the right call. For some reason this track just does not want to stay wet for some reason. It's just certainly a way of describing that, but yeah, Brock then is also going to go through then, and we're just going to slide backwards then, and yeah, I don't know what the track temperature was or something, but yeah, just absolutely no rain settling at all on it, and yeah, we were just sliding backwards. Matt Laverty's going to get through then to pull on as well. It's only Cronin behind them because Super Chimp is out of the race, so yeah, there goes the Audi, and we've fallen to the back of the field then, so we'll just have to hope that something happens, an incident up in front of us, and yeah, we can get back ahead. Cronin with a 3-second penalty, so that could help us then later on. As we start the final lap then, and we still are actually pretty close, so maybe we are starting to get a bit of a crossover now then, and we're going to make the move then on Cronin into Eau Rouge here, but unfortunately we don't have much battery left because I was using it just to try and keep up on that previous lap, and yeah, now we've got nothing ready to use then on this final lap towards the Lacombe chicane, and yeah, we're back down into 11th for the time being, but it does sort of start to feel like finally there is a bit of a crossover happening on the final lap of the race, and yeah, we definitely seem to be a little bit quicker now then. With half a lap to go, I mean, it's a bit ridiculous, you know, like having like maybe half a lap, if that, of the Inters being quicker after it's rained for most of this race, and yeah, we're doing the right thing. We waited to put the Inters on because the track just didn't seem ready for them, and then yeah, I figured at some point it had to happen as Gamer spins then, so we are going to get another place here then up into 9th, but yeah, the track just never was ready for Inter for some reason, up until maybe this last half a lap where it does seem like we're maybe starting to close a little bit back in, but saying that, Cronin is going to retake the position then into the final chicane, but yeah, has a 3-second penalty then. Tolu then takes the checkered flag first as out of the final corner, and we actually do power pass, and well, nearly do. I think it was 0.016 we were behind there at the checkered flag, and yeah, it's going to be 9th and in the end with that Cronin penalty it looks like. But yeah, Tatos then once again the race winner. I don't know how many wins that is so far this season, but I mean, we've only had 6 races and he's been pretty dominant so far, so it's got to be like 4 or 5 already. Yeah, Tolly then on the podium in second. I believe it was Marcus then who picked up that final podium spot then in 3rd place. So after a bit of a delay, we do now have the final results. There weren't actually any stewards inquiries for tier 1, but there were a lot for tier 2s, and the results for both tiers tend to get posted at the same time, so I think that's what the hold up there was for. But yeah, as I say, no stewards inquiries for this race, so the results were as they were as we saw in the race then. So yeah, Sanatatos then did indeed take the victory in the end, with what is their 3rd win of the season. I mean, it feels like more. I mean, to be fair, they did cross the line first in Spain, I guess, but yeah, it feels like they've just been relentlessly at the front, but there's only their 3rd win of the 6 so far. Tolu then in 2nd, and Marcus rounding out the podium in 3rd. Cyclics then just missing out on that podium on what I believe is their debut. I'm not sure. First time I've raced with them anyway. Fleet 5th ahead of Alf, and then Brock, McLaverty, then me in 9th. Gamer Plays 10th, and Cronin with that penalty we saw there at the end in 11th. So what that means then in the driver standings is that Sanatatos has extended his championship lead to 21 points then over Tolu, and then Brock jumps ahead of me up into 3rd. We're still in 4th just ahead of Alf, and then Gamer only a further 7 behind after that. A battle between Fleep and Marcus at the moment for 7th and 8th, but I imagine with their pace they'll be joining in on this fight for 3rd and maybe even higher in the second half of the season. And the constructors, Ferrari still comfortably leading the way then over Cadillac, Red Bull a third, and we've got quite a close battle then for fourth at the moment with McLaren, Alpine, and then, yep, it's still just me carrying Haas at the moment. So, yeah, it's not the race we wanted in the end. I mean, I think I said it already, you know, we're doing the right thing for quite a lot of the race, and then just that safety car sort of really messed things up because it sort of forced me to make a decision really in terms of what tire to go on. Because I mean, if it just had stayed the way as it was, I would have probably just tried to eke the soft tires out to the end, and I think they would have gone the distance. We wouldn't have got any further than seventh, but I don't think we would have been caught because we had like a whole pit stop over Brock and a game of plays. So well, I don't think we were ever really in the threat of losing out that position. So yeah, just the unfortunate time of the safety car and just me being convinced that eventually it would be wet enough for the Inters, and yeah, it just did not work out that way, unfortunately. So yeah, it's another race where it feels like I'm sort of like ruin like lost points here, and yet we're still up in fourth, which is just not at all reflective of our pace. It's been a very weird season so far, but still enjoying it. Well, I'm enjoying racing with some good drivers. I'm not so much enjoying these cars, if I'm honest, but it's not this bad around every track, which is some saving grace, I guess. Next up is Hungary, anyways. That should be a lot more enjoyable because plenty of chances to save the battery around there. And so I'll leave you at that then. We'll be back next time out with Hungary. Apologies for this being slightly delayed, obviously, as I say, it's because the results came out a bit late and I wanted to include them in this as well. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back on track a bit more next week then. And yeah, thank you for watching then, and I'll see you then next time out for the Hungarian Grand Prix.